In the late 10th century, a scholar stood on a hill near the city of Ray, in what is now Iran, staring at the sky through a device so large it dominated the landscape. It wasn't a telescope, those wouldn't exist for another 6 centuries. It wasn't a computer, those were beyond imagination. It was a sextant, the largest the world had ever seen. The man operating it was Abū Maḥmūd al-Khujandī, one of the greatest astronomical instrument makers of the medieval Islamic world. Al-Khujandī lived during a time when astronomy wasn't a hobby. It was a science that governed calendars, navigation, religious observance, and the study of the universe itself. Empires needed accurate measurements of the sky to organize time, geography, and power. Earlier civilizations had tracked stars and seasons, but Al-Khujandī pushed precision to a new level. His greatest achievement was the construction of the al-Sud's al-Fakhr, also known as the Fakhri sextant, named in honor of the Buyid ruler Fakhr al-Dawla, who sponsored the project. This wasn't a handheld naval tool like the sextants of the 18th century. It was a colossal instrument with a radius reportedly around 20 meters. It was carved into the ground and built into the architecture of the observatory itself. Half of a circle engraved into stone with incredible accuracy. With this instrument, Al-Khujandī made one of the most important measurements in pre-modern astronomy. He determined the obliquity of the ecliptic, the tilt of Earth's axis relative to its orbit. This tilt is responsible for the seasons, and its value changes slowly over time. Al-Khujandī's measurement was remarkably close to modern calculations, especially considering that he was working without lenses, without telescopes, and without mechanical clocks. He did it with geometry. His work shows the genius of applied mathematics during the Islamic Golden Age. Algebra, trigonometry, and spherical geometry were not abstract fields. They were tools for understanding the cosmos. Scholars like Al-Khujandī turned numbers into instruments and instruments into discoveries. Al-Khujandī also contributed to mathematics directly. He worked on the theory of parallel lines and played a role in discussions that would eventually form what we now call spherical trigonometry, a field essential for navigation, cartography, and astronomy. He did all of this while working inside a network of observatories that stretched across the Islamic world, from Baghdad to Ray to Cordoba. These observatories communicated measurements, exchanged star catalogs, and refined astronomical constants long before Europe built its first major observatory. Al-Khujandī represents a kind of genius that modern history rarely credits: the instrument builder. The person who makes precision possible. We often celebrate the theorists, the Copernicuses, the Keplers, but theories are useless without numbers, and numbers are useless without instruments. In some ways, Al-Khujandī was the missing link between ancient observational astronomy and the precision that would later make the Renaissance possible. His massive sextant inspired later observatory instruments, including those of Maragha and Samarkand. When Ulugh Beg built his famous 15th century observatory in Samarkand, he followed the same logic. Bigger instruments mean better precision. The lineage traces back to scholars like Al-Khujandī. Today, the Fakhri sextant is gone. Time, conquest, and neglect erased the physical monument. But the measurements survived. The writing survived. And the idea survived that the sky could be measured with extraordinary accuracy by human hands armed only with geometry and discipline. Al-Khujandī didn't leave behind an army, an empire, or a palace. He left behind numbers, numbers that matched the universe. In that quiet precision lies his legacy, and that is why he deserves to be remembered.